Okay, so we've started the recording. You can start sharing your screen and we can begin. I'll not take much of your time now.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thanks, Ayush. Thanks for having us on. Hey, thanks, Ayush. I'm Varun here. So, what we'll do is we'll maybe give you a 15 to 20 minute quick walkthrough of Tijori. Anything more than that might be, too much and get monotonous. Then we will take questions that you have, how much ever granular questions you have and stuff. We felt like this works better while doing sort of walkthroughs. Okay. Uh, just let us know when you can see the screen. You start sharing it. But meanwhile, anyway, I'll just take
It's
1 minute.
visible. The screen is visible. The screen is visible.
Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Okay, great. So before we start giving you a demo, I think I'll just take 2 minutes to explain to you how we actually think about tools out there and what framework we use when we are building features and stuff. Okay. So I mean, if we forget about the stock market for 2 minutes, if you and just think like when you wanted to buy a TV or a phone or something, there must be like, I don't know, thousands of phones and TVs out there. Of all the phones out there, you needed to, and supposing you needed to choose one to buy. So what would you do? Of the 1,000, 2,000 phones, you need to first filter down into the 5, 10 which are in your region, which and the ones that you're interested in. Once you filter down to the 5 phones that you're interested in, then you might start thinking that, okay, now I need to research more into these phones and I'll ask a friend who knows a lot about phones, or I might do a feature comparison of all these phones and whatnot. So from the 2000, you need to somehow filter down to 5. From those 5, you do a research and you filter down to the one. When you filter down to that one phone, then you need to decide, where do you buy it? Do you buy it online? Do you go to the store? What exactly do you do? And once you've bought it and you have it in your hand, that's when, I mean, for the next 1 to 6 months, you might not even think of a new phone. But then again, you start tracking. Again, you start thinking, what are the phones out there in the market? What else could I have bought? And stuff like that. So we think of this as 4 boxes. The first box is when you zero down from the thousands of phones out there to the 5 to 10 that you're really interested in. We call that the discovery box. After you've discovered the 5 to 10 phones that you're interested in, and you want to learn more about them and compare them and zero down to the one, we call that the research box. So you go from discovery to research, and once you have that one phone in your head, we go to you need to buy it. So that's when you go to transactions. And once you have transaction, and once you've done the transaction and you have the phone in your hand, and after 6 months you might start wondering which ones are the new ones out there in the market. That's when you do tracking. Okay, so in our head, buying anything, not just phones, but even financial products, are exact. You jump through these 4 hoops. They're exactly like this. So you have 2, 3 thousand companies out there. From those, you need to first zero down to the 10, 20 meaningful ones. That's your discovery process. The 10, 20 in your watch list, you do more research. That's of course the research process. Then you buy them, and once you buy them, you track them. Now, based on our framework of these 4 buckets, you can start slotting in companies. So if you see Zerodha and stuff like that, they're more in the transaction bucket. Then the third bucket, you've discovered companies and you've researched them, you want to buy them, then maybe you'll go to Zerodha. They're also a little bit in the fourth bucket, where once you bought them, you might keep some of your portfolio there, and you might want to, check your daily ledger there and stuff. Okay. But as of now, what we've done on Tijori is concentrated on the first 2 buckets, the discovery and research. So let me just explain that to you with an example. So I'm going to the filter module on Tijori. So when we first want to discover companies, what do? There are so many companies out there.
Hello. Yeah, is everyone able to hear the voice or is the voice gone at my end only? Okay, so the voice has gone. Okay. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Uh, okay. Yeah, guys, don't panic. Just give us a second. We'll get it done.
Sorry about that. We just had some network issues. So, I mean, basically, I'm not sure where we dropped off.
Yeah, I think we spoke about the four boxes being discovery, research, transaction, and tracking. So Zerodha and all are playing in the Zerodha, Paytm Money, all of them are in the transaction phase. We are playing in the first two boxes, discovery and research. So the first thing that we want to talk about is discovery. Okay, so I mean, there are a lot of companies out there in the market. How do we discover companies? The most common thing that everyone does is we first start running filters. So we say, okay, maybe I want companies less than 20,000 crores only, and they should have a ROCE greater than, I don't know, I'm just making up, but ROCE greater than 15%. And this is how regularly, and of course, we have more complicated filters, obviously, but this is just how regularly people filter. So the first thing that we've done in our approach is, I mean, we started with that people don't really think like that. People actually think in ideas and concepts and stuff. It is just that we are forced to translate those ideas and concepts into numbers. So what I mean by that is you might have an idea that, hey, I want to invest in niche chemical companies who have these financial characteristics of market cap less than 20,000 and ROC greater than 15,000. So that's the first thing, and the first thing we started building. Yeah. So if I say things like, I want companies with revenue from chemicals greater than 20% and I don't know, market share greater than, I don't know, 30%. And so this is the more effective way. Like if you saw in the previous search result, we had like nearly 1,000 companies. Now we boiled it down to 17.
Yeah. So like Varun was saying, the way we think about it is when you look at a company, its financial aspect is a very, very critical thing, but that accounts for half of the way you look at a company. But the business metrics and the business aspects of a company is very, very critical too. So these are ways in which we think, and until now it was not able for us to translate this into a filter query. So which is why we've really, really tried to focus on building this box, which is the alternate data query. And our aim over here is any sort of a business query or anything you want to understand about a company and filter through that angle, you should be able to do it. So for example, you should be able to say pharmaceutical companies with revenue from North America and set that threshold.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Or people have been running a lot of queries on show me companies making APIs and exporting to North America with, and then on top of that, they overlay some financial parameters. But the main idea to get out of this is that we think in these idea or concept terms. It's just that we don't have a way of mapping these concepts into, an efficient query nowadays. And that's the first thing that we started building.
Right. So one more, I mean, if you are on the filter page, you can just click on this list of available fields. Here you clearly see the universe of filter queries which our system understands. Okay. So you can go over this and refine some of the queries which you run. We get a lot of emails saying, can you give some more sort of explanation on how to run the alternate data query? So right now we've kept it pretty much on natural language. So we're trying to improve it further and further. So today there are a lot of queries which do not work, and we are tracking those, and based on the kind of queries we get, we try and refine our system a little bit more. So the way we think of this box is mainly anything you can think of, you should be able to answer. So for instance, you can just say companies that use vinyl acetate monomer as an example, right? So if you think of a raw material which you've read in the papers perhaps and you see the prices spiking, you can query those things and we'll be able to give you those results. So essentially we want to build an extremely powerful sort of query engine where anything you can think of, whether it's on the financial side or business side, should be catered to.
Yeah, and I guess the last point about the filter is that, we get a lot of emails saying, hey, but I know this company uses this raw material. The thing is, we need to map it to a data point which we can track back right to the base source. So I mean, many things are just general knowledge and stuff we know, but we can't trust that kind of data, so we don't show it. So maybe, in this actually the number of companies using VAM must be, I don't know, 20, but we are able to track back to the actual source mentioned in documents that we trust to only these 6 companies, which is why we are showing it here.
Yeah.
So our, our precision is going to be very high, but maybe our recall and stuff will be not as high as you would want it to be. Anyway, so just to recap again, there are 4 boxes. Right now, we're talking about the first box of how to discover companies. So there are so many thousands of companies out there. We think in ideas. So we use our ideas to filter down companies and get into the discovery process. And this is the first thing that we built in that box. A second thing that we built, which is still in beta phase. I mean, we've released it, but it's maybe 80% there and not quite there yet, is a market screen. So what is a market screen? A market screen is, everyone knows what a market screen is. It's basically which indexes are moving by how much today, like the Nifty, the next 50 mid cap, small cap index. Just ignore this 1 day column for now, because today Sunday market shut. We need to show the Friday value. But anyway, what a market screen is, everyone knows that it just shows you how the different indexes are doing today or over the last 1 month, 3 months. But we think about it a bit differently. It's like for us, just saying that mid caps are doing well is useful, but not really useful. You'd want a more granular look at the market and quickly get a more granular look at the market. So if you see, we've broken down the market into many niche indexes because we have detailed granular product data about companies, and we've created these market cap weighted indexes on our own. So these are similar to, like, say, the Sensex or the Nifty Bank Index, but instead of the product bank, it's product fertilizer, it's product paper and board, it's a sugar index. So every day, I guess you could come here, see what's moving today, see what anomalies are there and what is standing out. Today, of course, Sunday, so it's all zero today, but you can check it out tomorrow. So for example, in chemicals, everyone knows is doing well, but you can see in the last 6 months, it's the alkali chemical companies have done really well. Polymers, not so much. And alkali has done better than specialty chemicals. And I guess you can track that on a daily basis.
So our data gets updated every 15 minutes on this page.
Yeah, it's refreshed every 15 minutes, not quite real time, but yeah, every 15 minutes. So why should this help in discovery? Because I'll just give you an example. Yesterday, someone mailed us saying they noticed that the plywood index has really gone up. And when you click plus, you see Archiply has gone up 75, 80% in the last 6 months. So how the discovery process should work is you come here, see which indexes have really moved at a granular level, click plus, see the companies that are constituting that index. You can click on any of them and then go deeper into that company. Okay. So anyway, just to recap, there were these 4 boxes. I've just spoken about discovery. So you've zeroed down from the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 companies into the 5 or 10 that you care about. Now you need to do research. And that's where, that's the next box. And I guess that can you...
Yeah, so basically, like Varun was saying, after you discover a company, it could be through the newspaper, it could be through a filter screen, or it could be through the markets monitor. Next aspect is research. In research, we break down companies into detailed sections. So if you've used Tijori, you will notice that something which people really love the application for is our market share section. So here we get this information by scraping out company filings, their investor presentations, and documents we deem like reliable, maybe an IP, maybe ER report, the annual report, or an industry body to give us this data. And this data is tracked on a quarterly basis.
Yeah, so we are tracking about 20 to, I don't know, must be 30, 40 industry databases like TRAI, SIAM, and I don't know, fertilizer, tractor manufacturers association and stuff. We are cleaning all that data and putting it in one place, basically.
So in the next aspect, we show you the key revenue exposure that the company has at a segment level, product level, and at a geography level. So this just gives you a quick overview of where the company stands today. In fact, we've got data for the last 3-4 years, which in our next release coming soon, you should be able to click on a trend and see how mobile has been improving or reducing for Airtel as an example, and how their exposure to maybe Africa is increasing or decreasing. Another aspect which we look at a lot is the core operational metrics of a company. So this is unique sector specific metrics. So in the telecom sector, you can say the most important metrics to track if you were the owner of a business is what is your ARPU, what is the number of subscribers you have per month, and things like that. So what, like when Varun and me used to research about companies, the biggest pain point we used to face was we not only needed to study the company, but we needed to study all the competitors. So taking some of those issues we faced, we made everything plottable such that you click and see the trend of a particular metric. So for instance, in this case, it's the number of subscribers for Airtel over the last 3-4 years. We immediately prompt their closest peers. Okay, we prompt their closest peers, and you can see that okay, how Vodafone is doing and how Reliance Jio is doing. Again, based on the metrics and based on the data sources, sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's quarterly. Another important thing we do all the time is let you click on source. So every data point that we have, we try and send you, okay, in that example, it did not work, but we try and send you to the source so that you can do further research on it. Let me just take another example. If I just look at Sun Pharmaceuticals, which is in a completely different industry, the metrics that you should focus on for a pharmaceutical player would be like the number of number of US DMF filings or the US AND filings and things like that. Let me try source here. Yeah, this goes straight to the company filing, which tells you how many ANDs they filed. Again, this is something you can plot against competition, compare, things like that, right?
Yeah. So right now, yeah, when initially you found Sun Pharma, you discover. I mean, of course, everyone knows about it. But say you chanced upon Sun Pharma and you found it, you'd want to know about its business. So just to recap, you can figure out its market share, what therapeutic areas it makes its revenue from, how much from the USA, how much from India, products, how much from APIs, how much not from APIs. Check out all its operational metrics, of course. Financials, of course, are standard. I mean, we have it, and we have it in a quite detailed way. Last 10 years, and it's for the last 10 years, and whatever granularity you want.
So the thing about this is every aspect in a financial field is plottable, so you can check that out. Compare against competition.
Yeah.
But something which we'll be working on soon is to make it more customizable for people, so that if you want to change line items in the P&L statement, you should be able to do that. So that's something we're working on. But I think what it differentiates us is our benchmarking section. So you can just click here or click on the tab on top.
Yeah. So benchmarking is basically, I mean, what it says, it's benchmarking. Supposing I told you, would you rather invest in Sun Pharma or Lupin or Dr. Reddy's? I mean, initially, and if you've never heard of them, you'd want to figure out what's the difference between them. I mean, on the surface, all of them sound the same. So benchmarking is where we compare them. I mean, it initially comes out that, okay, this is how much Sun Pharma spends on R&D, and this is how much Lupin is spending, this is how much Dr. Reddy's is spending. You can compare them on all the important business metrics like ROE, ROC, and whatnot. But one differentiating factor is you can compare them also on their business data. So here you can see that Sun Pharma makes 18% from cardiac science, Dr. Reddy's makes 11%. Or Sun Pharma makes 32% from India, Dr. Reddy's makes only 18% from India. And Dr. Reddy makes 10% from Russia, and none of the other two countries make anything from Russia. Even product-wise, you can see the difference. And of course, you can add companies. So if you say, okay, but I also want to see Cipla, I've heard of Cipla, then we add Cipla here, and you can compare Cipla now on all these financial metrics, operational metrics, and business data. Like, okay, Cipla is getting only 13% from cardiac science.
Yeah.
So, I mean, on the front end, it looks simple, but there's a lot of standardization programs that we have to write for, our system to know that cardiology equals cardiac science equals cardio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We standardize it and put it in one place so you don't have to waste time.
So this was something which was very satisfying for us to work on, because
Yeah.
when we used to research on companies, what used to really take us time was actually figuring out what each other competitor does, what their strengths are, where they stand. And actually, this is elements which we used to see, which would take us hours to do, and now we can do it in 5 minutes. So we used to get a pretty good kick from this. We'll just go through one more company. So
again, of course, it'll in HDFC we'll have all the bank related whatever market shares in credit card, bank advances, deposits, operational metrics, NPAs, CASA ratio, and whatnot. One thing we saw yesterday when we were doing some research is that, I mean, many people might know this, when we came to the benchmarking, was that HDFC makes 46% from consumer, but Bandhan Bank was making 87. So, I mean, this is just an example. Many people might know this, but this is how it helps things stand out. Like, okay, now it's quite clear about the difference between an HDFC or an ICICI and a Bandhan Bank.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just to help people go deeper. Essentially, that's what we try to help people do in an easy manner. So at the surface, you should not think of it as just a private bank or a private bank which is focused on consumer. Even in that, each company have their own strengths. And what this field allows you to do is see exactly where people stand and ask questions based on that. Right?
Yeah. So hopefully it helps you in, tracking all the important metrics and stuff like that.
Right. So I think we're going a little fast, but that's fine. We'll take up each of these in more detail when we go to the Q&A.
Yeah.
So
I mean, quickly again, we had discovery, research, and research. We're showing you once you want to do research about companies, but of course, companies sit inside sectors, and sectors sit inside, countries, or in our case, India. So we built up data on the company side about, say, HDFC Bank. But then you might want to know, okay, this bank is doing fine or bank is not doing fine, but how is the sector doing? So we've also collected data on a lot of sectors where you can check, granular indexes of the sector. How is it doing? Like, of course, private bank is done better than public bank, but okay, maybe not in the last 6 months. And market shares, and you can add whichever bank you want, and for advances, for deposits and whatnot. All the banks, any bank that you'd want to compare is here. So you can customize your views like net interest income, market share, and stuff like that. And a lot of operational metrics on how much advances banks are giving on per month, what are their deposits per month, transactions per month.
Yeah, like every other sector, each sector is very, very specific. So, I mean, typically in any other application, it's very standardized, but we realize every sector is very, very different. So what we show in each sector is just purely dependent on that.
So, I mean, we have quite a few sectors here. Maybe we cover most of the market cap. So then there must be 20 sectors, most of which you would want to go to. So, and the button is here. So you can definitely check it out here to go one level up. And the last is, of course, like I said, companies sit in sectors, sector sits in macro. So you can also check out our macro data which we have here. It's a dashboard being updated every day. I think showing you like industry wide, how's the production going, inflation, tractor sales, demand side, what is happening, cyclical demand, defensive demand, GDP and trade, what is happening. If you want to know what's happening industry wise, you can click plus and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. So just to sum up again, like we've been saying, we just think about research or basically the stock market in 4 main boxes. The first one is discovery. And in Tijori, we've tried to add the filter screen and the market screen to help you discover companies. And this is just work in progress. We want to keep improving on that. Once you discover a company, we've built research screens, which includes the company specific research, the sector specific research, and at a macro level, right? And again, based on feedback, we keep tweaking it and trying and improving the level of research we're doing there. The third bucket we spoke about is transaction. That is something where you go to a Zerodha to buy. That is some area we're not even going to be touching in the near future. And finally is the tracking. So we believe once you say that, okay, I have Sun Pharma or a specific company in my portfolio, you need to have a strong tool to help you track it. So this is something which is completely work in progress for us. We've built out a portfolio tracker. So this is not yet released. So we'll just give you a glimpse of what we're working on. So say you've identified 10, 15 companies in the sample portfolio, which I'll run you through. that these are the companies in my portfolio and this is the weightage, etc. So you'll have a simple ledger where you can track your gain, loss, and all that. What stands out a little bit is one element where we try and compare your portfolio to similar mutual funds.
So, I mean, Siddharth and me, for our investment portfolio, instead of buying direct stocks, the obvious thing to do is go and buy a mutual fund. So, I mean, we don't really find it useful to compare to the mid cap index or whatever. We just take our exposure and compare it to a similar mutual fund. So, you can see in this sample portfolio, we have like 39% in mid caps and 47 in giant caps.
Right.
So you'd want to compare it to a mutual fund which has similar exposure levels and see how you're doing against that. Because if you're doing worse than that, you might as well just invest in a mutual fund and not,
Yeah, so this is just a gauge. So few other elements in this is all financial parameters for your company on a quarterly basis will be tracked in one place. Similarly with shareholding. We even show you your index returns and you can compare it to any other index. So say that this is your portfolio from the beginning of time. And instead of your portfolio, had you invested in an index or a mutual fund or a specific company, how would it have performed? So this is just to give you a gauge.
Yeah, this is another thing that how we track. So basically every time, say I put in 20,000 rupees into my portfolio, I could have invested that 20,000 into say Reliance, which is what we've done here, or any other company. So or any mutual fund. So we just track every time I took a buy sell decision. What if I took a buy sell decision on a benchmark, and that benchmark, for it to be Nifty, really doesn't make that much sense, or Nifty mid cap or whatever. We keep our benchmark as really safe companies or whatever.
Right. Then another tab we are working on is the exposure tab. This is essentially trying to show the risk your company is facing. So for instance, over here, just a second. Yeah, so if I go to product and geography, so here now you could have seen in your gain loss tab, you have these 10, 15 companies in your portfolio. You can come to the geography tab. Here, as you hover, you will get a clear visibility on each geography. What is the level of exposure? So you can drill down and say your portfolio actually has 2% exposure to Germany, and Motherson Sumi in this case accounts for that 2%, right? So we even have state-wise data, country-wise data to say that from each state, what is your level of exposure? So this just gives you some sort of risk management when you try and look at your portfolio overall. Similarly, on the product side also, you can drill down into each product. So you're 45% exposed to auto ancillary. In that, tires account for 80 and body accounts for 15, etc., etc. So this gives you that complete view on where your portfolio is right now. Another thing which we have in the portfolio tracker is the correlation matrix. So here we try and show you how correlated two companies are to each other. So in many instances, what happens is people zero down into two companies and then they can't pick between the two. And then they think that they're diversifying by investing equally on both. But sometimes the data will show us that those two companies are highly correlated. So in that case, you're actually not de-risking, but you might as well be invested in one. So what these elements in this page is trying to bring about is all the risk sort of exposures your company, your portfolio as a whole has. And it's up to you as an investor to say that, okay, fine, I care about this. I don't care about this. Do I want to change this? Do I not want to change this? But we want to bring out those points because that's basically the underlying data which we have. So maybe in the next 1-2 weeks, if we're ready, we will release this version out. So this is just phase 1 of our portfolio tracker. But in essence, the kind of data we have about each company, that is, we have their product exposure, we have geography exposure, we have raw material exposure.
We're tracking raw material prices of like a lot of chemicals,
chemicals. Yeah. So just as an example, I know a company's exposure to each raw material. I know the price movements of that raw material. So once we have so much data sitting with us, we are in a really good position to build a very, very powerful alert tool and a tracker. So that means you can set your portfolio on Tijori, and should any parameter which you have set, is crossed, you will get notifications, right? So this is what we're working towards. It will take us a couple of months, but at least the first version of the portfolio tracker should be out soon. Okay. I think we'll wrap up soon and open up for questions. But before that, one more element which we are working on right now, and I guess some of you all would have seen, is because we are scraping data from company filings, whether we do it for Tata Motors or Tesla, it doesn't really matter to us. So we've tried to replicate this for the US as well.
But this is like highly work in progress.
Yeah, this is work in progress, so we'll just show it here. So S&P 500 companies and all their key metrics are up right now. Within the next
maybe week, 10 days, we'll plug in financials, and basically we'll replicate Tijori India for the US and all the 6,000-7,000 companies in the US.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, if you look at it, our focus is India because right now we've got many elements which we want to plug in. But parallelly, when possible, we are trying to strengthen this application on the US side as well. Okay. So Ayush, I think we will wrap up. We've been speaking for about half an hour. Let's open up for questions, and then we can go deeper into any specific.
Sure. So basically, guys, the first thing that I have found a lot of people asking is is Tijori free, and what are the paid plans of Tijori? So I was surprised that people are asking this question because as to my knowledge, I have till now not seen any of the paid plans of Tijori.
Right. So the thing, this is, I mean, basically we've kept it completely free because we started maybe about 1.5 years ago, and we've been constantly increasing features. I think most of the people who are tuning in today and have been there from the very beginning. So they've been messaging us all the time, and we've been improving the application. But we will be moving to a paid version very, very soon. By soon, I mean within the next 30 to 40 days. So then access to the application is going to be restricted to only our paid users. In terms of charges, so as it stands, a yearly subscription will be around 7,000 rupees to 8,000 rupees. There'll be monthly versions too. But initially, for our initial set of users, we will be giving some sort of an early bird discount, because I think we are here today because of the users who have been with us and are constantly mailing us and giving us feedback and improvement points. So first version may be around 6,000, 5,000, 6,000, but actually our price will be around 7,000 to 8,000 a year.
And that's nice. So you can give our community at Finvents also, some sort of Anyways, now the other questions, there are a lot of questions and they are constantly coming in. Do you want to handpick the questions yourself, or should Abhimanyu do it for you?
So we will go, so we've just opened the chat box, so we'll pick a few questions.
Do you have a blog where you update on what are the latest tools? No, we don't have a blog. We need to do more outreach, stuff like that.
So some place where we're fairly active right now is Twitter. So anytime we have a new feature, we put it up. But that's not good enough for everyone who's not on Twitter. So we will try and put up a small tab on our application which states what's new. But the features tab is something which we keep updating every time we have something out.
Sanjay is asking, when is the tracker being released? So if you're talking about the markets tracker, it's out there, you can use. If you're talking about the portfolio tracker, then give us a month, maybe less than a month. We're ironing out some wrinkles and it should be out there. So maybe in a month.
So, but before that, we may do a beta release for few people. So we'll send out few messages. Whoever's interested can come try and give us feedback, because we know there are some glitches. But yeah.
Okay. Can I also track CAGR my portfolio? Yeah, you can. We show the XIRR, so I guess that's what you want. How much data, how much so IT.
So we're just trying to fix some questions.
Always, but there's no scrolling function. Can you make a scrolling function?
Sure.
It's quite irritating.
We'll look into that.
What do you get that scrolling function?
Scrolling bar.
Oh, scrolling bar. Okay. Okay.
So someone's saying shareholding details and individuals holding more than 1%. So we've got the standard shareholding data, but so basically what we've done is from the exchange we get tons of data, and some of the data includes individual names of each investor. So we've not taken up this project because everything requires a lot of scrubbing of data. So we need to standardize it, but we will be able to give you granular shareholding information. So you will be able to query at some point saying, show me Purinju's latest holding, or show me, etc., or who's increase, decrease, and all that. We're working on that.
Okay, macro indicators, can you show us the units? So basically macro indicators are all year-on-year growths. If you click plus on many of the indicators, you can see the underlying data, but the percentages you see are year-on-year growth numbers.
Okay. Yeah, I can see a question on mutual fund data. So the first thing is, basically today we've started with stocks. Next we will move into mutual funds, but it's some more time for us to get there. So even when we do a portfolio tracker, the first version that you guys will get you'd only be able to add stocks. But the thing is, we really need to spend time thinking about how to break down mutual funds, and we're not really there yet. So once we are able to distinguish ourselves completely in terms of the data we're able to provide on mutual funds, then we'll have a version out. But mutual funds is very, very important to us, and it's in our to-do list for sure.
Yeah. Our annual reports, con calls and stuff available. Yeah. So you can go to a company and go to knowledge base. There the ARs and CCs and stuff like that are there. We also provide links to some blogs that people have written on that sector, like Value Picker. I mean that company and that sector, like Value Picker and stuff. A lot of people have found that useful.
Yeah, so essentially, if you want to know where we get our data from, we get our data from what we deem as reliable sources, and reliable to us is only things which come from the company. So it could be an annual report, investor presentation, conference call. So since we're indexing that, we've made that available on our site. So if you want to read more in the AR or an IP or a conference call, you'll have that there.
Okay. Can we check the increase in market share of any player? Yeah, you can just type companies with market share increasing.
So
in the filter thing.
Yeah, that should work. So the thing is, like right now on if you go to Airtel's page where we showed you, you have Airtel having 28% market share in telecom. Actually, we have data 16, 17, 18, 19 till now. It's just a UI problem, and we apologize for that. So soon we'll make it graphically depicted so you can see the trend of a company increasing or decreasing there as well.
Yeah. Can you add BSE announcement? So the thing with BSE announcements is that most of it is junk. Like it's like, oh, I changed my company secretary and all, which nobody cares about. We need to figure out how to clean it properly and scalably, like for every company.
Yeah.
We try to, I mean, we thought we'll start this project maybe a month or two back, but we didn't prioritize it, but we definitely will work on it.
So, I mean, just to give you more context, like the source of all our information is BSE announcements. So on a day, maybe some 2,000, 3,000 alerts come out. And basis that, our application knows someone's IP investor presentation has come out and things like that, right? So at our back end, we are classifying it, but right now it's not good enough to display it on the front end. Once we have something worthy of showing in the front, we'll make that available.
Is there a state-wise screener? So you can type companies getting revenue from Karnataka and it should give you the results. Is there a feature where I can make a watch list? Yeah, so in that portfolio tracker, we want to make a watch list where you can add companies and set price alerts on them. So if you add Sun Pharma and say, tell me when the price goes below 500 or whatever, we will send you a notification. We are working on that and embedding it in our tracker. Okay. Is beta version open for everyone? Yeah, I mean anyone can use it right now, Tijori. But if you meant the tracker, then no, right now it's not there for someone. Aditya is asking market share data of a company. Can you show it over a period of time in comparison to a peer? So if you go to our sector screens, there you can see market share over a period of time with compared to a peer. Maybe share us.
Okay, let me just try. I can share this and show that. Just a second.
I'll give you the sharing. I'll give you the sharing. Just a second. I'll give you the sharing. Yeah.
Let me just open it.
Yeah, it's here. HDFC Bank.
Let me just do asset management.
Siddharth, I had another question. You guys are testing out these new features. So can we have some 10 to 15 lucky people from Finvents who would be able to test out these features?
Sure. So actually, it will be very, very helpful for us. So maybe Ayush will run it through you, but we'll get about 15, 20 people who can try out this and give us
Yeah,
feedback.
we'll do a lucky draw of sorts. We'll do a
Yeah.
lucky draw because we have a community of over 3,000 people. So we'll do a lucky draw of sorts and we'll select 20 people by that lucky draw.
Sounds good. Let me know if you can see my screen, Ayush.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so this is an example of that question where they ask, can we compare market share against competition? So this is the asset management section. So here you can see market share since 2015 till date and how it's growing for each one. And you can keep adding other companies here and seeing how they
You can add
perform.
grow.
You can add grow, you can add. So to an extent, like these are private companies, but cases where this is our opinion as of now, but where we think the players are big enough and we're able to get hold of reliable data, we've added that to our database as well. Because see, like just as an example in asset management, the biggest players now like Grow, Upstocks, Zerodha are all unlisted. So if you are taking a decision on buying or selling any of these listed players, you need to at least understand where the unlisted companies stand today.
Yeah, like for example, in the auto sector screen, we are tracking Kia Motors and all, even though they're not listed.
Right.
When querying financial data, do we have OR function? Yeah, so we have the Boolean functions OR, and not. So you can type show me chemical companies or pharma companies. It should work.
Yeah.
Import of existing PF directly to Tijoriya. So this is exactly what we are working on right now. So you have your account in the brokers and you want to import it. Obviously, it's irritating to do it manually.
But yeah, just a heads up, the first version, it will be completely manual because as soon as something's good enough to push it out, we're pushing it out. Then based on feedback, we'll keep iterating. So the first one won't have an import functionality. After that, we'll plug that in.
Yeah. Can I save screens? Yes.
So this is from Gagan, and this is the question which comes to us all the time. We know it's extremely important to save a filter and then see which companies are coming in and going out. We've thought about this, but somehow just not got around to doing it. But this is very, very important to us and in our to-do list.
Yeah. Sandeep saying would be good to add revenues and market cap in benchmarking. Yeah, so our approach is that we want to make it fully customizable. So you add whichever company you want as a competitor and you add whichever financial field you want. We will allow this customization because like Sandeep might want revenue and market cap and someone wants something else, then suddenly there'll be 100 fields over there. So our approach is to make it customizable, and that's what we are going to allow soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we filter companies by operation metrics? Yeah. So you can say, show me companies with utilization less than 80%.
You can say utilization increasing or decreasing also. That should work.
Yeah, it should work. Once I'm just thinking of some other. Is there a feature to save queries and email figure? Yeah. So
work in progress.
Work in progress for sure. How many years back data is available? So financial data is available since 2009. If you want business data, it's available. Actually, we have it for the last 4-5 years. We just haven't got around to displaying it. For the US, for example, we displayed since 2016. So we will do that soon for India also, where you can see historic trends of how companies' revenue segments are moving.
So the thing is, like we mentioned, we get data from two main sources. One is the stock exchange for all our financial data, and we scrape out annual reports, investor presentations ourselves. So we've gone back 3-4 years as of now. We'll make that available, and in time we will go even further back.
Yeah, can we filter BSE and all? So BSE bulk deal, block deals and stuff, we haven't put it in yet. We have the data. We are trying to figure out how to clean it well and show it so that it's not noisy. So we've noticed that in other, after a point it just becomes noise, and then you have to sit and figure out which BSE announcement makes sense. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out a way to clean it, programmatically. What's the difference between normal, Tijori, and beta? So everything is out there in the open for people now. So there's no difference.
So then there's a question on raw material prices. So prices we can't really display because we do not have the licenses to it. But raw material standardization is something which we've just worked on. So that means now every company's page will soon have a new chart or a data point showing you which is the major raw materials of this company. We do not have the license to display the raw material price movement, but we are tracking it. So that means I can give you an alert saying that your company's raw material has crossed a threshold. And the threshold can be 5%, 10%, something you set. But displaying those prices, we do not have the rights yet.
Yeah. Okay. So in knowledge base, are there any forum others? So we found Value Picker to be the best because the quality of discussion going on there is the best.
But there's tons of forums which are focused on like very specific sectors.
Yeah.
So what we've tried to do in our knowledge base section is definitely be a value picker, but based on the, I mean, if we come across something that could be something we've come across personally, or someone emails us saying this makes sense to add it here, we add it to our knowledge base section. So any good blogs, if you're aware and you're not seeing it on Tijori, please tag it to us and we will make it available there.
Okay. At what interval the market monitor tab gets updated? So it's updated every 15 minutes. So you can see the indexes updated every 15 minutes. Can we have feature to track raw material price? Yes, soon. Again, someone has raw material and XM data. Yeah, so we'll do it soon. I mean, we're a small team, so we need to prioritize.
So XM data we have right now, but today we've not opened out the full database. We've handpicked what, like the cement sector or steel sector, a few of those things. But we will try to make that also available soon.
Okay, I think we'll take one or two more. Latest quarterly results and annual reports are so as soon as the company files it, the financial data of the quarterly results should be out on our site maybe within a day or so. Do we have a separate screen showing it? No, we don't have that yet. That okay, this is the timeline of all quarterly results that has come out. That we don't have yet. Okay. Can we figure out companies doing capex in current FY? Yeah, so we are going to give out that filter soon, that capex increasing or capex CAGR or whatever. I guess one thing that you can do is just see companies doing whose gross block or net block is increasing. But I get it. Yeah, it's not the best way. Yeah. And I guess we'll take the
one or two more last questions.
Gross block, inventory data, capex, debt filters are provided. Yeah, so you can just go to our filter screens, just see all list of available fields, and just check out what's there. There are a lot of fields there. I think most of what you want should be there.
So insider and promoter statistics. So right now we have shareholders and promoters and big institutes. They are buying and selling. But specific investors is work in progress. We've not got to that yet. So I mean, so basically, if you look at the entire data available to us, there's tons of directions which we can go. We've tried to focus on areas where we can actually provide some sort of a differentiator because of the depth of data which we scrape out. So the investors and all that is something we can do, but it's still in our to-do list, right?
Yeah. Can you provide export to Excel for the additional info? We actually did that and then we took it off because some people were kind of misusing it. I don't think we'll provide export to Excel for the additional info.
I mean, so the thing is, we just need to figure out a way to do it and ensure that someone is using it for like genuine purposes, but that's a difficult problem. But the moment we do that, because we realize people are hitting it and taking it down for all companies, then it becomes a challenge for us. But once we figure that out, we will make that available as well.
So someone's asking, can you make available management guidance and all? You know, we tried one thing which wasn't successful. So we tried to track what the management says and what they did. It was quite complicated to do at scale, and we kind of put it on the shelf. Maybe we should
look into that.
So in the US, we could do it very well. So in the US, we have a proper guidance tracker. I mean, it's not public yet, that this is what the management said and this is what they did. And for companies like, I don't know, big companies also like some Amgen or something, you can say out of the last 80 times that the management has said something, they've done it 70 times.
Yeah,
But in India, it's quite I mean, they're not reporting it well, and it's quite complicated.
Yeah,
We tried it but couldn't.
So the difference we see in the data is in the US, it's very, very systematic. Like the same set of guidelines and the same set of metrics they will repeat every single time. But in India, it's not so. Every time the report can completely change. The things they're speaking about changes also. So those challenges make it difficult for us to put a feature like this out because consistently we won't get data. Can you list all?
Siddharth and sorry, Varun, I'm sorry interrupting you guys. So what I thought that what we'll do is we'll take another 2 to 3 questions or 1 to 2 final questions we'll take. So you guys can be picky and take the best questions you want to take. And we can wait for another 1 to 2 minutes. So guys, whatever questions you want to ask, you can ask those questions, and Varun and Siddhartha here, they will take max to max 2 questions. They will take max to max 2 more questions because I just asked them for 1 hour of their time, and I think I've taken more than 1 hour of their time today. So
Okay.
I want to take, yeah.
Sure. So like there's a question here which says, can you state all the relationships that are used in the screener? So for all the business relationships, you can use that usage guide. I mean, the financial relationships and the terms used, you can use that usage guide that gives you the exact universe of terms that we recognize. On the business side, the way we think about a company is a company has a product, it serves a geography, has market share, uses a raw material, and has suppliers and has customers. So thinking of those 5 spokes, we are able to answer any sort of sensible business question you may have about a company. But I get your concern, like you're not able to, it's not documented somewhere. So we'll work on that and make that available in our usage guide as well. Is there any application plan? So
means a mobile app.
Mobile app. So we noticed that a big percentage of our users are coming on mobile, and right now we do not have an application, and we're not working on it right now. But the thing is, we just want to get our application right first. We need to understand exactly which features work, which features hit the spot, etc. Once we finalize that, I mean, we are a very small team right now, so we're actually trying to the best of our ability. So we'll make the web application working perfectly fine. Then we'll focus on mobile app. Our traffic is really big on mobile apps, so we know we will do that for sure.
And last question, I guess people have a lot of questions on, is this query available or is that query available, like say volume filters and stuff. So I mean, we've listed it all out, that what we have. Even I don't remember the top of my head all the parameters that we have. There's a kind of a menu button there saying a list of financial fields available or something like that. Over there, you should be able to see what all is available. I don't quite remember whether we have any particular one or not. I mean, apart from really big ones.
Okay, Ayush, I think we'll wrap up now, Ayush.
Yeah, sure. So what I'll do is we discussed, we'll do around max to max, I think 10 or 20 people you want to try out these new features that have come up in Tijori beta.
Right. We can pick 20 people. We can,
okay, so we'll make a contest out of it. And in a few days we'll announce it. Offline we'll go through it, and in a few days we'll announce it on